severe thunderstorms become likely as we go into the day tomorrow, likely in portions of southeastern Texas, with some threats being possible. And also a winter storm that is about to unfold once more across the Pacific Northwest and could affect upon millions across the United States. I have all those details for you right now, but before we start, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any forecasts. Alright, let's go. Okay, so first taking a look at the timing and where these thunderstorms might occur here. You can see as we go into the day tomorrow here, notice we have some morning showers to contend with tomorrow morning here in portions northeast of Houston here. You can see as we go into the late morning hours, we get some of those supercells to develop here in portions of southeastern Texas here, portions southwest of Houston here. By this point, this is just going to be this whole batch of rain. Likely nothing severe with that, maybe an isolated tornado, but the thing we're watching is this little cell, these couple little cells down here that blow up as we go into the early afternoon hours tomorrow here. As we go into the 2 p.m. and then the 3 p.m. hour, and then eventually tomorrow evening, this will likely transverse into a damaging wind hail threat. Couple tornadoes still being possible here. As we go into the day on Friday, the severe threat continues in portions of Louisiana here, likely bringing very excessive rainfall rates here. As we go into Friday here, we're likely talking up to 3 inches in some areas, so that'll be significant, along with some hail being possible with that as well. Tornado threat there as well, but not as big as it will be in southeast Texas tomorrow. Okay, now we're talking about portions of this area around 3 to 4 a.m. tomorrow, or I'm sorry, on December 1st. But you notice that it doesn't just leave the area, it lingers, and more moisture continues to drive up from the Gulf of Mexico. I know I said this would likely be a squall line by this point with damaging winds and hail, but look at these little supercells that develop here. Models like to consistently show these supercells potentially producing large hail, damaging winds, and tornado. So that's going to be something to monitor going into that time frame there. And that includes portions of New Orleans, Baton Rouge, getting up into the Mobile area here, Montgomery, Alabama here. All of this area that I'm circling right now could be affected by significant severe weather over the course of the next 48 to 72 hours. Please be aware of that and keep an eye on the radar. Alright, now that we're done talking about the severe weather, timing them out and everything for you, let's talk about those winter storms and snow totals and what it could potentially bring. Alright, let's go. Alright, so taking a look at the Pacific Northwest here, you can see as we go into the same time frame here, notice that we get a line of rain to move through here, maybe a couple heavy snow showers moving through the Seattle metro area here around 12 p.m. tomorrow here. This is where things really start to get going in portions of this area right here. We're going to need to watch for some warnings down here potentially, but we'll fine-tune that as we go into tomorrow. As we go into late day tomorrow, notice the heavy snow is becoming widespread here, and we're even talking of winds up to 40, even 50 mile per hour at times in portions of the higher terrain areas, as well as some heavy snow. So we'll take a look at those accumulations in a second. But by the time we get to tomorrow evening, heavy snowstorms still falling down in portions of eastern Oregon and portions of eastern Washington. That's going to be something to watch here. And then as we get into this time frame, notice how it starts to die off, but then it starts to go push out another round behind it. This is going to be the big significant maker if this forms. So we're going to need to watch that closely as well. Okay, so we look a little more long term here. You can see here's 10 a.m. on the first here. Notice that second round coming through. If it develops here, that first round will likely bring heavy snow to portions of the Midwest and Great Lakes region. However, that second round and potentially a third round here, this model doesn't typically have a good handle on these snowstorms this time of year. But let me just say that it's certainly, if these all develop at once, this could be one significant blizzard or snowstorm here that we're having to contend with here. Alright guys, this was the last thing here, but notice how this comes in here. And now we're talking portions of Nevada getting in on some of that heavy snow on December 3rd here. This is just going to be an ongoing issue in portions of that area. And of course, the normal northeast mountain snow. So that's going to be something to watch. Look how this dislodges them. As we go into December 4th, likely bringing some heavy snow to the Great Lakes region. We're really going to have to watch this area for potentially a winter storm. We'll need to watch it, but it is a little long-term here, so I wouldn't get too detailed into it. But we're really going to need to watch this area if this develops here. Please be aware of that. This is December 5th on the model road. Alright, notice as we get into that time frame how more snow pulls in behind it. This is for everybody here. If this happens, this will be everybody, including all the way from Detroit, Michigan, all the way to New York, New York. That is going to be something to watch, and this low pressure system will likely take this sort of track. So we're going to need to watch that closely here for potentially some heavy snow from portions of this area to the Ohio Valley here. As we go into this time frame, more snow wraps in behind it here, and we're basically talking about portions of Ohio at this point here. As that moves out, we finally start to see some calming down as we go into that time frame. But yeah, guys, like in the Ohio Valley and the East, we could be seeing a pretty significant thing setting up here. Multi-day winter storm potential. Please be aware of that. Mark it on your calendar. It is long-term, so things are bound to change, but I wouldn't think too much. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're not already.